Good evening, my friends. Let me start tonight with something so simple it almost feels too small to matter. Think about something you wanted badly, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Something you chased, something you prayed for, something you thought about constantly. A job, a relationship, a move to a new city. Got it? Now notice something. You're not chasing it anymore. You're not anxious about it. You're not wondering if it will ever come. It either happened or it passed or it dissolved, and either way it is settled. It has the quiet, heavy, completely unspectacular weight of something finished. That feeling, that specific, unassuming requires nothing from you feeling of something already over. That is what I'm going to teach you to apply to your desire tonight. Not the small, manageable things you of something approaching. Not the small, manageable things you of something possible. Not even the confident feeling of something on its way. The finished feeling, the already done feeling, the feeling of a fact. And when you learn to genuinely bring that quality to what you want, not performed, not forced, actually felt, something strange and fast and completely reliable occurs. The distance between where you are and where you want to be stops being a distance at all. Reality reorganizes itself to match what your consciousness has already accepted as true. This is what we are learning tonight. Are you ready? Let me first show you the exact mistake that is keeping your desire permanently out of reach. Most people approach what they want as a future event. They visualize themselves getting there someday. They imagine the moment of arrival. They rehearse the feeling of finally having it. When I get the money, everything changes. When I find the right person, I will feel whole. When the opportunity comes, I will be ready. Look at that pattern very carefully. Every single time you frame your desire that way, as something coming, something building, something that will arrive when conditions are right, you are doing something you are not aware of. You are placing your desire in the future. And the future, my friends, is not a place. It is a concept. You cannot live there. You cannot receive anything there. There is only now. This moment, this permanent, unmoving, only ever here. Now. The future is always one step ahead. That is its entire nature. And as long as your desire lives there, it will stay one step ahead, always approaching, never arriving. But there is something even more damaging than the timing problem. Something subtler. When you say, I will be financially free, what are you quietly confirming about right now? I am not free now. When you say, I will find love, what assumption is embedded in every repetition of that thought? I am alone now. When you say things will get better, what are you saying about today? Today is not good enough. And consciousness, which creates entirely from the present state, from what you are being right now in this moment, receives that signal with complete and total precision. Not enough now, more not enough. Waiting now, more waiting. Still not yet, more still not yet. This is why people can affirm for years, write in journals, do everything right on the surface, and still find the desire sitting exactly where it was, waiting, never quite here. They have been creating from the wrong direction. Tonight I am going to teach you to flip that direction entirely. Here is the insight that changes everything. You cannot pull the future into the present by reaching forward toward it. You can only bring it here by treating it as the past. I know that sounds like a riddle. Stay with me. When something is in the past, what is your relationship to it? You do not hope it happened. You do not visualize it occurring. You do not try to convince yourself it is real. You do not feel the anxious tension of something not yet arrived. You simply know. It is a fact of your experience. It carries the quiet, unargued, completely ordinary reality of all things that are simply done. A memory does not require your effort to remain real. A memory does not need you to believe in it or protect it or maintain it through daily practice. A memory simply exists, settled, certain, already, and that quality, that specific quality of settled certainty, is the quality of consciousness that actually manifests. Not the reaching, not the hoping, not the excited forward visualization, the calm, ordinary, backward glance of someone remembering something that is simply and completely over. And here is what most people never discover. You can create that quality about something that has not yet appeared in linear time. You can build a memory of the future. And when you do, when you genuinely inhabit the felt sense of recalling your fulfilled desire, the way you would recall last Tuesday, your subconscious mind, which does not read calendars, which does not distinguish between a remembered event and a constructed one, accepts it as fact. And once your subconscious accepts something as fact, it does not ask for your help. It quietly, systematically, without drama or announcement, begins to reorganize everything around you to match. Your thoughts shift. The words that come out of your mouth shift. The rooms you walk into, the people you notice, the opportunities that suddenly appear in plain sight when they were always there. All of it shifts. Not because you forced it, because the inner state changed, and the outer world, which has no choice but to reflect the inner, followed. Here is the technique. Precisely. Completely. Nothing left out. Tonight, before you sleep, you are going to do something that will feel unusual at first. You are going to teleport. Not to the moment of receiving your desire. That moment still carries the energy of transition, of arriving, of something changing. I want you to go further than that. I want you to land somewhere past the arrival, somewhere after the excitement has faded and the thing you wanted has simply become your life. If you want money, do not imagine receiving it. Teleport 3 months after it arrived. It has been in your account long enough that you have stopped thinking about it every day. It is just how things are now. Normal. Unremarkable. Yours. If you want a relationship, do not imagine meeting someone. Jump to 8 months in. The newness has settled into something warmer and quieter. This person is simply part of your life. You cannot quite reconstruct what it felt like before them. If you want your health back, do not visualize recovery beginning. Land a year past it. Your body simply feels like your body again. You wake up and do not think about it. Capable, present, just there, after. Not during, not at the moment of arrival. After, because after carries the energy of being, during still carries the energy of becoming. You want the feeling of already settled into, already normal, already just how things are. And from that place, from that quiet, ordinary after place, you look backward. You remember, not project forward. Not visualize, not hope. Remember, let me make this specific so you can feel the difference. Say you want a new home. You have been trying to bring it into your life. You have been imagining the moment of getting the keys, walking in for the first time, the excitement of it. Tonight, instead, close your eyes and teleport. You are already there, 6 months in. The boxes are long gone. You know which drawer the scissors are in. You know how the light looks in the kitchen in the morning. This is simply where you live. And from that settled, ordinary place, you begin to remember. You remember the day the paperwork went through, how you sat in the car afterward and did not quite know what to do with your hands. You remember calling someone you loved and not being able to get the full sentence out. You remember the first morning you woke up there, the particular quality of the light, the unfamiliar sounds that were already starting to feel familiar, the thought moving through your mind. This is actually mine. This is real. Do you feel the difference? You are not hoping. You are not visualizing forward into uncertainty. You are remembering. And remembering carries something that forward projections simply cannot touch. The settled, unargued, quiet certainty, of course. Of course it happened. It did. I remember it. What is there to be anxious about? Now let me explain why this works at a level deeper than technique. Your subconscious mind does not experience time the way your waking mind does. It does not file events by date. It does not distinguish between something that occurred in your past and something that was constructed in your imagination with genuine emotional texture. To the subconscious, a memory is a memory. A felt fact is a fact. When you repeatedly, consistently, with real sensory and emotional detail, remember your desire as something that already occurred, your subconscious receives one clear signal. This is real. This happened. This is a fact of this person's experience. And from that signal, without your conscious management, without you figuring out the how or clearing the path or arranging the pieces, it begins to guide you toward the physical conditions that match the inner reality it has accepted. The thought that occurs to you in the shower, the thing you say to someone that opens an unexpected door, the opportunity you notice because you are now, without realizing it, the kind of person who notices it. The bridge builds itself, not because you architected it, because you stop standing in its way. And here is something important about the how. When you genuinely remember something that already happened, you do not ask how it happened. You know it did. The how is historical, already sorted, irrelevant to the present moment. This is what real detachment from the mechanism feels like. Not a practice, not a discipline you maintain through gritted teeth, but the natural, effortless release that comes from standing on the other side of the desire and looking back. It happened. Clearly it happened somehow. The details are just details. When you stop needing to see the path before you walk it. When you stop requiring the bridge to be visible before you take the first step. You stop blocking the infinite number of routes through which what you want can reach you. Routes you could not have planned. Routes more direct and more elegant than anything your conscious problem-solving mind could have assembled on its own. Let me tell you about a man who wanted to leave a job he had been in for over a decade. He had been working on this for years. Affirming, visualizing, doing the inner work. Nothing had moved. When I heard how he was practicing, the problem was obvious. Every night he was imagining the moment of getting the offer call, the feeling of relief, the image of himself handing in his resignation. He was, in other words, living perpetually in the instant before it happened, perpetually in the about to, which kept him permanently in the state of not yet. I gave him one shift. Stop imagining receiving the offer. Teleport a year forward. You are already in the new role. You have been there long enough that it is simply your work, your life, your normal. From that place, remember the day the offer came. Don't imagine it. Remember it. The way you would remember a Tuesday. He practiced this every evening for 3 weeks, and he told me something that I have now heard from so many people who actually make this shift, that I expect it when it comes. The desperation left, not because he had practiced non-attachment or convinced himself of anything, but because, from the position of remembering, there was genuinely nothing to be desperate about. The thing had happened. Obviously it happened, he remembered it. What exactly was there to grasp at? The outer circumstances had not changed. He was still in the same office, same desk, same commute. But the quality of his inner state had moved completely, from hoping toward to remembering from. 6 weeks later, a former colleague he had lost contact with reached out about an opening at a company he had never considered. The role was more aligned with what he actually wanted than anything he had been searching for. It arrived from a direction he had not been looking. As these things do when you stop insisting on the direction. Here is the language of this practice. Because the language shapes the felt sense. And the felt sense is everything. For money. Not, I hope the financial situation improves. I am working on abundance. But I remember when that finally resolved. I remember the feeling of looking at the numbers and thinking, okay, this is actually fine. This is more than fine. That was what, 4 months ago now? It still catches me sometimes. For love. Not, I want to find someone. I'm trying to attract a partner. But I remember when we met. I remember how easy that first conversation was, how surprising that felt, given how long things had been quiet. I remember thinking, so this is what this feels like. We are coming up on 7 months now. For health. Not, I am trying to heal. I am visualizing my body recovering. But I remember when things shifted. I remember the appointment where the doctor looked at the results differently. I remember the morning I woke up and realized I had not thought about the pain in 2 days. That was nearly a year ago. For work. Not, I want to build something meaningful. I am working toward my goals. But I remember my first week in that role. How strange it felt to have it actually be real. I kept waiting to feel like an imposter, and mostly I just felt like myself, in the right place. Wild how that works. Hear the quality of those words. The already. The looking back. The slight casualness of someone for whom the thing is simply, quietly, completely done. Now I want to address something directly, because people who take these teachings seriously will ask it. Is this self-deception? Is constructing a memory of something that has not yet happened in linear time a form of lying to yourself? No. And understanding why not makes the practice both more honest and more powerful. Here is what is actually true at the level this teaching is pointing toward. Your desire does not exist as a future event waiting to be created. It exists right now, fully formed, in the field of all that is. Every possible version of your experience is already complete in consciousness, the dimension from which all physical experience is drawn. What you move through in linear time is not a sequence of events being created moment to moment. It is a sequence of states being accessed in consciousness through assumption, through the quality of inner life you consistently inhabit, through what you quietly and persistently accept as true about yourself and your world. When you construct a memory of your fulfilled desire, you are not making something up. You are reaching across the apparent gap of time to touch what already exists and bring it into relationship with your present awareness. The memory is not a fabrication. It is an act of recognition. You are recognizing what is already real in the dimension where all things originate, and you are allowing that recognition to become the ground you stand on. The physical world is always the last to know. It is the echo, not the voice. When you speak the voice, clearly and quietly and without the trembling uncertainty of someone who is not sure they deserve what they want, the echo has no choice but to follow. Here is your daily practice. Simple. 3 moments. Each brief. Morning before you get out of bed, 2 minutes. Eyes closed. Teleport. You are in the life where the desire has been real long enough to be ordinary. From that settled place, glance back. Let the feeling of it happen move through you, not with drama, the way you might think of a good trip you took last year. Carry that quality, even faintly, into the first hour of your day. Throughout the day, a single practice. Every time your desire surfaces in your mind, notice which direction you are looking. Are you looking forward at it, hoping, wondering, reaching? If yes, turn. Look backward instead. Oh, right. That's done. I remember that, even briefly, even for 3 seconds. Redirect the gaze from forward to backward, from hoping toward to knowing, from evening, before sleep, the full practice. Close your eyes. Breathe until the day falls away. Teleport, not to the moment of receiving, past it, into the ordinary after. Feel the normality of it, the settled quality of it, the this is just my life quality of it. Then remember, the day it came, the conversation, the phone call, the morning after when it was still true. Make the memories specific, sensory, the kind that stick because they feel real, and then let yourself drift toward sleep inside the feeling of remembering, not wanting, not reaching, not trying, remembering. Your subconscious will carry that signal to the night. And in the morning you will wake up as someone, even slightly, who already has what they want. And a person who already has what they want moves differently through the world, notices different things, says different things, is available to different possibilities. That shift in being is where the physical change begins. I want to close tonight with the deepest version of what I have been teaching. When you teleport to your fulfilled desire and look backward from it, you are not really traveling through time. There is no travel required. Because past, present, and future are not separate rooms in a house arranged along a corridor. They are all here, all now, all simultaneously present in consciousness, which exists outside time entirely, which contains all of time, the way a single moment of silence contains every note that could ever be played within it. What you call the future is not somewhere ahead of you. It is already present in the deeper sense of that word, already real, already complete, simply not yet perceived through the slow instrument of physical sense. When you remember your desire as done, you are not creating a fiction about what is to come. You are removing the illusion that it is not already here. You are recognizing something that has been true the entire time. It already happened. Not tomorrow. Now. In the only dimension that actually creates, which is consciousness, which is the substance from which all time and all things and all experience are continuously made. Your desire is already done in consciousness. The only question that has ever mattered is whether you are willing to remember it. So tonight, before you sleep, close your eyes. Teleport. Go past the arrival, past the transition, into the life where it has been yours long enough to feel unremarkable. And from that quiet, settled, already done place, look back. Remember how it came, what you felt, who you called, what you thought the morning after when you woke up, and it was still real and still yours. Create the memory. Feel its specific, unexcited, completely ordinary weight. The weight of something finished. And fall asleep inside that feeling. Not hoping, not reaching, not performing belief. Remembering. And let reality, which is always the last to know, rush quietly to catch up with the truth you have already touched.